Welcome back to Basic Banter for Witches.
I wanted to let you get that whole bit in there because I always interrupt you going, Basic Buttons, oh, Windows,
And that's fine. It's fine if you do. I never know what I'm going to do. I just want to be extra silly because we want to make sure that your Saturday is
It's
started started with some
Saturday.
delights.
Get it?
Started.
A
What'd you say?
Saturday. A
Oh,
Saturday.
God. We want to start your
Yeah.
Saturday with a Saturday.
Boom.
Wow,
Trademark.
that is
TM.
that is something. TM. Good
TM.
God.
I know. Believe
Oh my
me.
gosh. Well,
No.
we're excited to be back. This is kind of a bonus episode for us because we originally
Yeah.
had a guest, but we were going to reschedule them for the next seasons. We're very
Yeah. Yeah.
excited for
Things came
that.
up and that's totally cool. But yeah, things
Yeah, that
happen and
happens.
we're like,
So
what do
now
we
it's a
do,
bonus episode
folks?
from us. And did Jessica tell Brittany to do the research? Yes. And did Brittany do the research? No.
No, she went to
Is
Walmart
anyone
instead.
shocked? No.
No, I know. Literally, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. I said, you do this, and I'll do
And I was like,
this, and I'll see you
absolutely.
later.
Yeah.
And
And then
then,
what did I do instead? I
yeah,
decided to take the baby to Walmart and get groceries. And
literally,
I
which
completely
is
forget.
important to do.
I had
So
to get
it's
groceries, then I
fine.
had to feed the kid, and then I put him to
Exactly.
bed, which hopefully
Exactly.
he'll sleep through our episode, but we'll see. But
Yeah,
yes,
it's all
no, we're
good.
excited. Jessica's had a good night as well, and I'm excited to hear all
Yes.
about it.
Yeah, man. So I was saying, in Killarney during like this weekend, what is it? I think it's from like the 15th to the 24th or something like that. They have what's called a Wander Wild Festival. So with
Oh,
that, they have you can sign up for a whole bunch of different events. Like you can do, oh God, what is it? Oh my gosh, nature bath. This was a
ooh,
sound bath, the one that I did, but you can go canoeing and hiking, biking. Like there's a whole bunch of
wow.
excursions that you can book. Like it's all like put on by like local companies or whatever. But yeah, so the girl I
Nice.
saw, her name was, oh fuck, what was it? Molly West, I think is what it was. Oh, I'm gonna look that
Oh,
up really quick here. While I'm doing that. But
great.
yeah, it was really good. Quite
Awesome.
interesting in terms of like what it was because I obviously
Yeah.
I've done the sound bath before, but it was just a different, to do it in a different place this time as well. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
was quite happy
I
about
like
it.
that.
Yeah, and no,
Nice.
the only thing, of course, there was a couple complaints, not complaints, but it was like, there was a guy taking pictures of like the event itself, and like so you're like in the sound bath, all like musical, like magical, and there's like click, click,
Oh,
click,
what a
click, 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 click. You can hear the
bummer.
shutter, and I'm like, so one of the
Yeah.
girls would like literally like got up and was like, and that was good. So we
Well,
need
was
that.
it the person who was running the sound bath? Were they the ones that are just like, hey,
No,
kind of not the fucking
she
time?
probably, but yeah, I don't know exactly. Can you not see that they're trying to like, I
Yeah.
don't know,
You're ruining everything I just created.
fuck, what's her name? I gotta look her. Oh yeah, I followed her on
That's
Instagram.
okay.
Ah, no, I did. Emma West,
Nice.
emmawest.ie. So yeah, sound will
Nice.
be the medicine of the future. So it was absolutely lovely. It was beautiful.
I love that.
Definitely would recommend if you're in the Ireland area.
I
Um,
like it.
but yeah,
That's
so
really
it
cool.
was fun. And with my
And a
friend
nature
Jackie.
bath. What
Yeah,
does
I don't know what that
nature
is. So
nature?
yeah, a naturopath.
What is the nature
Um,
bath?
well, I'm just gonna Google it. I'm just gonna fucking Google it. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Jackie, my lovely friend who will listen to this, I love you dearly, and thank you for spending the
Yeah.
time with
Hi,
me.
Jackie. Hi.
Hey. Um, we actually went over to a coffee shop just afterwards, and we're kind of putzing around town, getting a coffee and some desserts and stuff to take home.
Oh, I
And
like that.
this other like couple who were in the sound bath with us, we got to talking, and they were booking a couple different things. It's like they're doing this nature. I think
Oh,
it was a nature bath. I'm gonna double check here. They're doing a nature bath, and
that
they're
sounds really
doing
cool.
yoga on Monday. I'm just
My
gonna
goodness, it's like a whole thing. It's wild for a town.
forest, sorry,
Oh,
forest bath. Two
oh,
hours.
I would love that.
I'm gonna read what it. Oh, and it's still open. Oh,
Maybe you need to get up in there.
Sunday I work at noon and it's 2 hours, so I probably couldn't do it, but that's okay. So it says
Dang
it
it.
is okay. Shirin Yoku is Japanese for forest bathing. It means its meaning translates to immersing oneself in the atmosphere of the forest. The practice of forest bathing was introduced in Japan in the 80s due to high stress rates and demands over work. So it is consists of firm evidence-based framework of theory, skills, and recommended guidelines. It's a health and wellness practice that supports participants to relieve stress, to be in the present moment, create awareness of their natural environment, and to connect with their senses. So as for
That
what they
sounds quite
do,
lovely.
yeah, I mean, I would definitely try any of this anytime. So interesting. But anyway, so
Which is funny considering it's Killarney and they're going to put you in the newspaper for doing anything metaphysical or witchy, but yet they're like, "Welcome, Spirit Expo."
isn't it funny? But this is it's so different. Killarney is different. Like Glen Flesk was where we like made the headlines,
Oh,
metaphorically, I suppose, at like the church. So Killarney is a little bit like much more like open to this kind of stuff, right? But it is
Oh,
like you're still dealing with the town folks. So,
fair enough.
but
Yeah,
yeah, what
you're
is
gonna get
happening?
burned at the stake out there, Jessica.
Literally, I know,
No.
guys.
But you speaking of expos, so the last time
Yeah.
we all chatted, I had decided in
Yes.
the episode I'm going to that expo, and it was awesome.
That's so
I
good.
brought my mom along, which she's never been to any type of spiritual expo before.
Yeah.
So it rocked her, and I forgot to kind of like gear her up because I kind
Protect
of
her.
surprised her. I literally gave her 7 minutes to get ready, and I was like, "I'm picking you up in 7 minutes. We're going." She's like, "Where are we going?" And I was like, "It's gonna be somewhere amazing." And so immediately she's like, "So Brittany's taking me to Superstore," and I was like, "No," even though it's one of my favorite places to
Yeah,
go,
man.
and I need to go with somebody because the baby is just a
Yeah.
whole thing. Anyways,
Yeah.
but no,
It's
I had a good
preferred.
laugh. I was like, "No, we're gonna go here," and she's like, "Oh, okay, great." So I forgot to tell her how to ground. I forgot to do anything for her. I was just too excited.
Yeah.
So we were in there. It was really well done. Like there was a stage area that they had like sound baths going on. There was a bunch of different speakers and a lot of different businesses that were either from Alberta or
Uh-huh.
Saskatchewan. And I loved it. It was awesome. I bought a bunch of wonderful things, which I was super excited about. But when that sound bath hit,
Yeah.
holy shit, I don't think I've ever felt so dizzy. I was like, try to hold on. I bought a crystal for grounding because I was like, I need something so I don't float away. But
Yeah.
the wildest thing about this whole thing is mom went to bed, whatever. She went
Yes.
home and she's like, "Oh, I don't feel very good." I was like, "Yeah, I'm so sorry. You've got to ground you. I have a hot bath, whatever." The next morning, she woke up and she's like, "So I have a black eye." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" The inner part of her eye, it looks like she literally got like punched in the eye. And we have no idea where it came from. She still has a little
Yeah.
bit of a mark, but she thinks because of the stress of being overwhelmed at the Spirit Expo
Like
triggered
totally.
some.
Like I know she was saying that like it was really like overwhelming and
Mhm.
what did she
And it can
say?
be.
Yeah, oh totally. And I'm like, mom is
Oh
an
yeah.
empath as well, right? Like so
Yeah.
like as mom like wears everybody's feelings.
Yeah. She will
And
literally and she'll try to save you. She
yeah,
literally will
she's
find
a
out something
savior.
about you and
Exactly.
she'll
Yeah.
save you. Yeah.
Yeah. So she definitely I'm like, oh, okay. Like so aside from like the
Mhm.
internal like panic of all the
Oh,
people, but like getting all
yeah.
the energy, she's like, it was like there was so much in that room. I was like, energy? She's like,
Yeah.
yes. Like, yeah. Like,
Uh-huh.
okay. So that makes sense if it was
Yeah.
just like,
It was like boom, boom, boom. But then
yeah,
for some reason it also included a black eye. So I'm like,
exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah. Seriously.
Try
Oh
to
my God.
break
That's so
mom
funny.
into it and try
Yeah. Oh, that's so
like,
funny.
oh no. So,
Right?
but it's
Yeah.
really cool. Like we were able to purchase a couple little things. Like I got myself this little cinnamon broom. I'm gonna show
Yeah.
everybody, whoever is watching the YouTube channel, this cute little thing that you can put in your car.
It's so cute.
I know, I love
And
it.
it's
Oh, and
cinnamon?
it smells so freaking good. Yeah, it's cinnamon. It's a cinnamon broom, and like I could smell it from like a couple of booths away, and I was like, I don't know
I
where that smell is, but I was like, I need it. So I remember like walking
love
to the
it.
booth, being like, I'm smelling something. Is it what I'm smelling in this booth? And she's like, yes, actually it is. And she brought me over. She's like, you're probably passing the cinnamon brooms. So they're all different sizes and stuff, but I was like,
Cool.
let's
I
not get
like
too
it.
crazy. As much as I'd love to put a broom probably like right up there,
I would
that
love
would be
that. You
pretty
should
awesome.
make brooms. I know that sounds
Well,
crazy,
when you're
but
coming back, when you
we're
come
gonna have
back, we'll
weird
make a
witchy
broom.
crafts all the time.
I
Yeah.
fucking can't wait. It's gonna
It's
be
gonna be
so
so
good.
good.
But yeah,
Jinx.
I'm trying to think if that's it. Oh yeah, updates for this week. Spring equinox started?
Yes, spring equinox. It is the 23rd when this comes out. Yeah, spring equinox was on the 20th or 21st.
Okay. And then Mercury, I think, is back in retrograde, isn't it?
I believe you're right. Let's see here. Let's just have a look here. Where the fuck?
Well,
Where is
while you're
Mercury?
looking, I
Yeah.
know that things are going to come up this week for feelings that you're going to feel stronger in your
Yeah.
decisions and opinions where you're like, no, that's not okay. This is what's going to happen next. And I've definitely felt that in the last, well, I would say the last 12 hours has been like, there has been a moment or two, if you know,
Yeah.
you know
Yes.
about Harrison's birthday coming up. So that's been fun to deal with.
Yeah, I bet you it
But
is.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
That's all you can do.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. You know what? That means the cutting cord candle is working for me.
exactly.
Mhm.
Mercury is in retrograde April 1st to 21st. So
Oh,
it's
okay. So it's coming
coming.
up.
So we're like in the
Okay.
build up time. I would say like,
All right. All
yeah,
right.
but yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It always feels like a bad hangover. But the last one was
Hmm.
a long one, wasn't it? Oh yeah. I mean, it wasn't that long. It was
We
January
did an
1st is the
episode
last
on.
one. I
Oh
know we
yeah.
did. But you know what happens after I do an episode? I fucking don't know what I talked about. No idea.
No idea.
No
No, it's
fucking
like
clue.
doing a
It's like you're reading. Exactly.
reading. You're like, and it's gone.
Exactly. And like I said, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds so great.
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm
It is
trying to think. Oh
fucking
yeah, and before we jump into today's episode too,
yeah.
reminder that next week is our last one of this
There you
season.
go.
So we would
Last
love
one.
it. We would love it so much if you can send us your questions
Yeah.
because we would love to pull a card for you. Even
Yes, absolutely.
if you've submitted a question before, that's okay.
Yeah.
Submit another one. That's fine.
Exactly. There's no wrong way to go about it.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
we'll make sure that it'll be shared on our stories and everything like that. I'm gonna put it on my community page as
Yeah.
well. But yeah, if you've got
Mm,
anything that you want us, if you've got any questions about,
mhm,
again, it could be completely anonymous. Like this is
mhm.
like
Of
for
course.
you. This is just for you. We ask for your name just so that we can like assign it to somebody. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to say somebody's
Yeah.
asking me like, oh, you know, platypus
Yeah.
80 is looking for this. I have no idea. I just looked at
Exactly.
the letter key on my phone. I mean the
Which is
letter
wow.
key on my computer.
Computer.
The letter key on my phone. Uh,
Uh-huh. No,
yeah.
I get it. I get it. I pulled a Matthew today. Sorry, Matt, if you're listening, I gotta tease you
It's
for a
not.
hot second.
He's not.
Years, he might be. You never know. He
He might
tells
be
us
like,
that
I
he
miss
does
my
watch.
sisters. Yeah.
I know.
I
So,
know.
so years and years ago, Matthew had told us he was trying to keep up with conversation, and he was had like a beer or two, and he's like, Brittany, when I'm serious, I'm pretty
I'm
serious.
pretty
And I was
serious.
like,
Oh my
oh,
God.
nice. Okay. And so what today, oh my God, I'm gonna fuck it up. I was trying to tell something to Ryan and oh no, I'm gonna lose it. It was something about just like I'm sure I was trying to say I like to talk, but I said I talk to talk. And he's like,
I
oh yeah.
talk to
And I was
talk.
like, that's wrong.
Yeah, I do talk. I do a talk to talk.
I talk to talk. Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
oh
But yeah, when I'm serious, I'm
no.
pretty serious. Forgot about that. Oh, good
Ah,
times.
never
That was
forget.
good.
So many
Ah,
golden ones.
never
So
forget.
many
That one,
gems.
that I can't remember if Ryan and I just moved in together, but it was at our house on Laura.
No, you hadn't moved in yet. It was one of your like dates. Like he was staying with you, but I don't think he had moved in yet.
Because we
Oh
took a
no.
picture that night.
Oh, he
No,
did.
he did move in
He
already
did.
because we had that table.
Yes, you
It's,
guys
my
did. Yeah,
life
because
is chapters and a
well,
table.
that's it. The
Exactly.
same chapters.
My life is in chapters and a table. And that was the whole sentence I just said. That was how I know this because we took a picture that night because he's like, ooh, at the table. I'm like, that is my table because my old roommate, Kelsey, she had a different table and I didn't
Ah,
have a table. And then when Ryan and I
ah,
moved in together, we got a different table. And that was the table in the picture from the night of Matthew being very
nice.
serious because he was
Yeah.
pretty
And,
serious.
and
He's
didn't
pretty,
Gary like put like a hot pan or something on
yeah,
that said table and like
yeah.
burned to hell out of
Yeah.
it?
And then it was like a big old fucking like burn mark. I mean, not burn mark, but you mean like it was like a color. It was like a lacquer kind of finish
Oh,
and like burnt through.
yeah.
So it was just like this bleached.
It was
circle.
such a rough go. I remember you being so fucking mad.
It was like the fuck, like brand new table. Like, thanks, Gary.
You're like, that was
Gotcha.
super
Got
great.
you.
Thank you
Gotcha.
so
So
much.
good. I know. Okay, on to the episode because
Now
we've
we are going,
literally
yeah.
I can't remember what
Now
else
we've
we need to
caught
talk
up.
about. But anyways, hi, we love
That was
you.
it.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hi.
Um,
Sounds good.
okay. So I was talking with Brittany about like, oh, like, some people have come up in my like not my feeds of stuff, but like I've always like kind of had an inkling towards like some people from our past, but especially
Mm.
working on this metaphysical channel that I'm going to be doing, or like
Oh, yeah, the
Phantasm
TV show.
Collective, sorry. With Phantasm Collective, we talk a lot about Dr. John Dee and his practices with scrying.
Mm.
And I know we've done like we have not done a
Oh.
full scrying episode, but we do touch on it, like on mirror scrying or crystal ball scrying.
Right.
Now he is known for a lot of that. Once I went down like kind of my Dr. John Dee route, I was like, oh well, his mentor was such and such, and his mentor was such and such. So anyway, so
Oh.
I've got three like kind of main character people that have really started to shape or played important roles in like spirituality and astronomy
Sweet.
and kind of yeah, so it's been kind of neat. And then yeah, I was telling Brittany my plan is that I've got three other names that I'll keep for next season that are more on the what kind of side could you call them,
Still on the
more on like the
metaphysical.
future predictor kind of side there. So
Oh, yes. Yeah.
yeah,
There's your teaser into who's
exactly,
coming
yeah,
next.
exactly, next
I like it.
season, so I'm very excited. Who's coming? They're all dead, but it's fine. Coming. I said, I'm like,
They,
people have.
they will be talked about.
We're not talking about
Jessica.
them. Well, and they're all dead. Who's coming?
Yeah, no one's coming.
Not these guys. They ain't listening. No. Okay,
And
so
no, and we just hope they give us their blessing after we've just trashed them.
yeah. So Dr. John Dee. So he
Okay.
was, I think all of these people are kind of set in Europe in anyways, but no. So Dr. John Dee, he was born in 1527 and he lived till he was 82. He died in 1608 or '09. They're not really sure. Anyway, so that's
Okay.
kind of the time period that he was in. Now,
Okay.
what's really fascinating about him is he had like a wide variety of knowledge in like alchemy, cryptography. We said about scrying, also known as angelic communication. So that would be again like crystal ball gazing, which I think I talked about, the methodology of it all, or if you're doing like anything else like that, I suppose. He had yeah, scrying, I guess we'll stick with scrying. That was what he was
Okay.
known for. Now his communication with angels and passing on, a bunch of information. So now
Yep.
he started out primarily, I guess, as he finished his schooling and stuff, he started working as a royal advisor. And at the time, the queen was Queen Elizabeth I.
Okay.
So he was known as her like conjurer, like her personal kind of correspondent to the stars, if you will, when it came to all this stuff. And now he is infamous for using what's called like a black obsidian mirror to start talking to these angels. So it was actually like the size of like a paddle. It was a small mirror, but that's kind of where, scrying or
Oh,
gazing
yeah.
into the mirror kind of gets at kind of thing here. So if you've ever
Yeah.
kind of seen somebody do it, especially with the mirror gazing, there's sometimes like a veil or water or something to kind of disrupt it, to kind of give it that opaque kind of sensation. But yeah, so black obsidian was the primary use of that.
Crazy.
So yeah, so as a royal advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, he obviously was able or capable, they thought, to provide insight into like, what the country was doing, what other countries were doing, things that were coming about anyways.
Okay.
So a way for him to the term I found was delving into mystical worlds of the whispering angels to kind of see, what's the go and go. Now, when it
Okay.
came to things that the queen was supposed to be, for her eyes only, they had a secret code. And there was something that he would write on, say, if he had a written message for the queen about something coming up that was just for her eyes. Do you want to take a guess what it could be? So think England, secret, Um,
I want to say, so you just think it's either it's a word,
well,
it's like a
it's like
code
a
word.
phrase you could say, like it's something that designates the letters are specifically for the queen's eyes only. And he would be
Okay.
like this symbol kind of thing.
Okay, so I I would say like the word crown.
No, it's no,
It's a
you're off.
phrase though. It's like a
Kind of.
phrase, you said?
And it's funny because there's actually a movie. Well, there's a movie about this.
Oh,
Um,
and it's not The
D.
Secret.
His name is D. John D. He was the original 007. Fun fact.
So
Yes.
then, so that's the phrase that he used?
He would
Double O
write
seven.
007, so 007 on the
Good
letters
Lord.
that were just for the queen. So now this is again, this is
Wow.
back in like
Yeah.
the
Crown?
1600s.
Obviously
Round. Well, so I was
not.
like, we're not going to get there. No, Brittany,
Yeah,
we're
no.
we're
We're
not.
just gonna
That's why I was
wrong
like, no,
fucking
you're wrong.
person, Brittany.
Let me just
I just called
backtrack
you
a little bit.
Brittany. Wow, here we are.
Yeah, well, whatever, Jessica. Um, but yeah, no, so I thought that was really neat. Now, of course, like when you're looking into like the original 007 stuff, like the ones that are dramatized and for Hollywood, it's
Mhm.
not that they discredit this, it's just there's other things that say, oh no, it was based from like the zip code of wherever the author lived. And I mean that could be right as well. But this
Yeah.
was in fact something that they did use during that time. So it's like, oh, coincidental, if anything. But
Okay.
so yeah. So yeah, so Dr. John Dee, really interesting stuff. He's got quite a bit of like a list of works as well. And people who are in the scrying or into the spiritual side, especially over here in Europe, they do have quite not a fondness for him, but they do take a lot of what he has researched into
Oh,
practice.
that's nice
So
then.
yeah, and actually I want to say there was an Enochian magic. I know this is kind of like a whole other chapter.
I'm here for it.
Enochian magic. Hold on. I'm just gonna quickly do this. Da-da-da-da. Enochian magic, John Dee. Um, yeah, he had written a book. What was it? Enochian magic is a system of Renaissance magic developed by John Dee and Edward Kelly. And Edward Kelly was his like personal like seer, if anything. So
Oh,
yeah, so really, really
love
neat. So
that.
Enochian magic, yeah, I think we'll have to do an episode on that as well. And now
I'm
I've got
writing
all
it
these
down.
like, yeah, Anthony Kerrigan, who I work closely with, he's in this world. That's his realm. So yeah, so it's been really kind of neat to kind of be introduced to John Dee through this. So
Yeah, I like that. Cool.
yeah. So yeah, so now moving on to one of I guess the people that John Dee had, and it's DEE, so it's not abbreviated for anything. His name is John Dee.
Okay.
But one of his mentors, and of kind of the same relative time, like just a little bit before him,
Hmm.
was Cornelius Agrippa, or Cornelius Agrippa Agrippa. So also really involved with astrology, kind of really set the tone for relativity in the spiritual world. And that was so hard to say, right?
That
I
was
don't
intense,
know.
Jess. That was just like
Relativa. So essentially,
Habit.
yeah, he started to kind of make connections in terms of like how things correspond to one another. So he
Okay.
believed that all things are connected, like planets,
Yeah.
minerals, animals, organs of the human body, the zodiac signs, the order of the nine angels. Like they're all connected to one another or symbolic of one another, right? So
Okay.
again, when we're thinking of like our, not our root system, but like our chakras are also related to, this, or
Hmm.
when we're born and where our planets happen to align and having to how that affects us as humans, right? So
Yeah.
that's where he has definitely kind of been one of the major influences. So Cornelius was born in 1486. He lived to the age of 49. He died in 1535. So there is, I mean, obviously a big span there between John Dee and Cornelius, but again, at the time, he made such an impact on this. So Cornelius Agrippa, he he's been honored in a few different ways here, but for his extensive knowledge of the occult, philosophy, astrology, and ceremonial magic. So he wrote a book. It's called, okay, De Octula Philosophia, the philosophy of the occult, essentially. So it's
Oh,
written
okay.
in Latin, I believe. Um,
Nice.
but anyway, so this is like where a lot of the esoteric sides of like this, again, the spiritual or the occult lie. It's like one of the original texts, anyways.
Oh,
So he, again, he figured out that everything was relative to one another, the things kind of correspond together. So he took into practice like learning how to correspond with these differences and how to manipulate them for good. So that would be like what again was generated here as natural or white magic, which was really neat.
oh,
So again, he kind of delved into not necromancy necessarily, which would be like bringing back from the dead, but that was kind of the level at which he could go. Now, towards the end of his life, he did actually renounce magic. Like he decided that he didn't want anything else to do with it, and he like retracted a lot of the things that he put out in his teachings. But it
wow.
is believed that he did this because he knew at what level of danger he was working within. So like because at the time, dealing with witchcraft is or whatever was called then, it is scary. People don't know how to do it, right? So or why. So that's where people suspect that's why he did it. But anyways, so yeah, as I said earlier, yeah, so Dr. John Dee obviously was, he sorry, Cornelius was an impact on John Dee, Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein, and then also Harry Potter. Fun fact. So he is, yeah, so there's a purple substance that was named on his behalf. It's an ingredient in potion making, and it is called the Agrippa. So that is within the Harry Potter kind of world there.
Wild.
Kind of neat. I know, fun fact. The other note that I have on him is what is it? Defense of hidden physio philosophy. Philosophy. Oh my God. So sad.
Philosophy?
Oh,
Phil.
philosophy. Yep. Philosophy. Yep. Defense of hidden philosophy or magic, which draws on universe mystical traditions, alchemy, astrology, and Kabbalah. So yeah, it's finding like the communications between all those things. But anyways, but yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Cornelius, that's really neat. And I'm like,
Yeah, he thinks so
yeah,
too.
he agrees. He's like, because we've talked about Harry Potter. But guess what, Harrison? We're just getting revved up. Did you know? Because guess who we're
Yeah.
going to talk about next? Brittany, who else? Who do you think we could be talking about? We're not
For
talking
his,
about Nostradamus,
right.
but you definitely know who I'm talking about.
Merlin?
No,
Shock. Give me a sec.
that's okay. Medieval alchemy. He is, I guess, part of the inspiration for the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hmm.
He's
Uh-oh.
also noted in Albert Pike's book, Morals of the Dogma and the British Rite of Freemasonry.
Those are books that I
He's
have no idea.
also included in the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts series.
Ooh, give me a second. It's Nicholas Flamel.
It is Nicholas Flamel.
He's a real person.
Exactly. He's a real person.
I
Now,
honestly
okay,
believe.
this is all I because it's not necessarily it's hard to prove, but now Nicholas Flamel was born in 1330 and he died in 1418. He lived to the age of 88 years old, which
Okay.
at the time is astounding, right?
Which makes
So
sense why they created him to be someone who lived
exactly.
so long.
Exactly. So, of course, everything that, like, all the speculation about his life came out posthumously. So after he passed, that's when the suspicions of him and his wife had, found out the way to create what's called the Philosopher's Stone, right? So they were able to find the elixir of life to prolong their lives, anyways. So
That's actually real. Like they
this is
really.
actually, well, no, this is all speculation. There's no proof
Okay.
to this, but this legend lives on. This is before Harry Potter. This is just,
I
again,
honestly
like,
didn't feel like the legend was real.
I know, and how would you, right?
Well,
So
yeah.
he was a healthy patron and he was active in Paris. He had a reputation as an alchemist, notably the claims he succeeded into making the Philosopher's Stone, which turns metal into gold and the elixir of life. So yeah, it's not backed up by any actual evidence, but it is like all speculations from multiple different sources. So
No idea.
Flamel's wife, I'm gonna look up her name because I didn't actually grab it. Nicholas Flamel. Nicolas Flamel, his wife is also Perenelle Flamel, who is also somebody who like dabbled with like the occult in this sense. So she is I'm just gonna see here. She lived to the age of 77. So again, she died in 1397. This is not the average lifespan. So right, I'm just gonna actually look up average lifespan 1390. Let's just put that. It was just over 70. So again, considering she was up to 77 and he was 88, that's fantastic. So yeah, so there was not speculation, but like he was her third husband. So going into the marriage with him, she had like the wealth of two previous marriages as well. So they were able to, they really didn't need the money, but they had the money, right? And the suspicion of he's turning metal into gold is because they always had some sort of, way to support the community. Like they were not hoarders by any means of this money. Like they shared their wealth and they looked after the community and they were always kind of giving. But it was like, where's this money coming from? So that's kind of what started some of this stuff. But yeah, so yeah, so
Okay.
basically he did a lot of his kind of stuff, aside from this alchemy, but because he had in those terms, it was kind of expected or rumored to be true. So interesting.
That's really neat.
But yeah, he was the inspiration for the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Don't know why. But anyways, that's fine.
That would be
I'm not fucking sure at all. I really don't know. But yeah, I'd really like to dive into like their marriage and their life because it just runs like sounds really neat to
Okay.
me. But yeah, so
We will do
yeah,
that. We will with our this is the starting of an amazing series that I think we should create that will go through all
yeah.
of these because I honestly didn't even know anything about this. So this is freaking cool.
I know. I was like, oh, when I saw it, I was like, what? And I was like, this gotta be a joke. Like, it's not a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had no
It,
children. Fun fact. They,
well,
yeah.
I'm sure if anyone doesn't have children, they live so much longer.
Well, I'm that you're not right. But yeah, no, it's
You're
funny. Like
not right.
you're not right. I mean, you're not wrong, is what I'm gonna say. Oh my God. This is what I mean.
It's like you
You silly auntie. That's silly auntie. Oh my goodness. Look at your cute little face, Harrison. Oh my
I
God.
literally could just chew on his face. I'm like,
I could chew on
stop.
it too. I get that. I could feel that. Cool. Right on. Lovely. Well, that was my little tidbit about like some
I
historical
know.
characters. I would definitely do a deep dive on like any of these. Like I said, I want to do like Nicholas Flamel, yeah, and Perenelle Flamel. But then I've got three more for next season as well. So if people like this theme, like let me know. Obviously, like there's so much information. I hate to like skim it over, but and there's so many people in history, but he's so cute. Oh, is mommy funny? Oh my
I don't know
goodness.
why I need extra cue right now, but I'm here for it.
Oh, he loves
Why
his
I lie about
mommy.
I know. I know.
Oh, what a good boy. His little hands. Oh my goodness.
You're being a goofball today.
I miss
Me,
my babies that
we have to pull
small.
our cards. Sorry?
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, I'm not like broody for another baby. I just want my babies to be
I
babies.
know.
I want
When
my
you
babies to be
come here, you
babies.
could have lots of cuddles with this guy.
Lots of baby
A very
cuddles.
big cuddly
There's,
guy.
there's children
So,
in this house, but they're not my babies. I want my babies. So I'm gonna do the divine feminine. I guess is what I'm gonna do.
yes.
Yes, Oracle deck. Fabulous. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, so let's pull some freaking cards. You've already pulled your cards, sorry. You
I
could go for it.
did. Yeah. I pulled from a deck that was kind of yelling at me, and this one is the Earth Alchemy Oracle.
Alchemy. Oh my God,
It
Brittany,
was
we talked so much about
wild because I
alchemy.
didn't really know. To be completely honest, like obviously I didn't do any research today, so I only knew half
I
of
didn't,
what was going
and I never told you the names of my people until like
on.
today. So, or
No,
literally in this
it's
episode.
wild when that happens. But yes, I pulled my card, and the card, ooh, it's Ethiopian opal, so it's
Ooh.
fertile ground. Pegasus, unicorn energy, rainbow child.
Gorgeous.
Ooh, I like
That's
it. Okay.
pretty.
I know I like that. So I'm just gonna read a little bit here. No, you
His
cannot.
face, he's just like so like, what are we looking at, mommy?
I was like, oh, I like books.
Oh,
No,
I
I know.
like that.
All right. At this opal's core is rainbow love. She lifts you up so you can see that love within you. Her internal fire brings spiritual life into your systems and enhances your connection to cosmic consciousness, holding you up in joy and reverence for the multitude of facets and endless possibilities to love within you. Her emotional intensity is charged and ready to jump into action to support your release of fears. Her energy oscillates and swirls, taking on an elemental personality um, that will dance around your higher chakras sweetly, singing to your inner child and dancing with your wild woman and sitting with your crone aspect. It swirls around your spinal column until settling within the base of your spine to connect with your Shakti,
Yeah.
or it's a kind of energy.
Yeah.
She brings peace, purity, and a wish to support your energy as it rises in a balanced, harmonious way, bringing to light cosmic entanglements that may be holding back your flow. We must call the sorry, I'm going to say this, Kundalini up into a balanced way to seat itself in the heart before it moves up out of the crown. She brings that connection, that flow, and space to nurture and be with this flow. You are moving through key moments in your soul's growth. You are involving the action of the fourth ray and the ascension flame and the white life of the mother and the base of the spine chakra to help purify and lift you so you may climb your path to ascension. Opal shows you that you are on the top of a mountain. After a big climb, you are home. Right. Take a moment to stand on the precipice of your hopes and dreams and bask in the light around you. Good things are coming. This stone brings the light keys of the beings from the star constellation of Pegasus and many pure and radiant white unicorns. They hold space for unification, for your energy, and offer healing and peace. Call on a being from Pegasus to assist you in holding pure healing light. They will shine a light in disillusionment and help you ascend in spiral so that you may feel, see, and know the love, the freedom, grace, and the light within you. Opal wishes to assist mothers to be and those on a fertility journey to connect with their child. Its wish is to hold the light in your womb. Its wish to hold light in your womb is so gracious in its offering that it will help you overcome fears around childbirth and the early months of welcoming your child onto this plane. It will help the child anchor to the body through pregnancy and birth. Sorry, its mind is like being around craziness. It's
Yeah.
especially helpful for the new wave of light children who need a high vibration to hold them.
Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. No,
Yeah.
I'm not pregnant. I want my own babies to be babies again, not more babies at this time in my life. Today, anyways.
Yeah.
That's funny. But very cool. Interesting. Very
Yeah. Like
interesting.
that.
Yeah.
It's right. It's right
Okay.
here. It's right.
So I am doing my Divine Feminine book here. So that is, who's that by? Megan Watterson. Ooh, interesting. And I've got Lilith.
Oh,
Lilith. Yeah. So
another
it
historical
says,
creature.
yeah, the
Sure.
first woman. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I deserve to live. So let me just do a little dig on Lilith. Do, do, do. Hey, hey, hey. Where are you? Lilith was 42. Oh my goodness. Let's go. There we go. Okay, I promise I won't read too much here. I'll read enough.
Oh, mine,
Do.
mine was longer than I had
I know.
realized.
That's okay. So
Sorry.
Lilith, who she is. Lilith embodies our sovereignty, sovereignty to the to wow, this is good so far. The
Things are going
sovereignty to
sovereignty.
declare sovereignty. I don't know. Lilith embodies our sovereignty, not treaty, to declare our desires and do what must be done in order to live them out. According to Jewish folklore, Lilith was Adam's first wife. She was created from the same earth as Adam, so when he expected her to be subservient to him, she refused. Lilith explained to Adam that they were equal, made by God. So when Adam insisted again on her submission, Lilith uttered the divine names and flew away. Supposedly, Adam sent angels after her to force her to return. But she was she was with the archangel Samuel, and she desired to remain with him. Ancient Jewish midrash or retellings of the biblical stories portray Lilith as a demon, but contemporary feminist theologians like Judith Pascal, can't even talk today, guys. Like Judith Plaskow, have incorporated women's experience and women's voices into traditional texts with their own midrash. Plaskow transformed the fearsome, vilified Lilith into a wise, empowered woman. Lilith embodies the emotional and spiritual aspects of our unconscious and unrealized desires, sensuality and unbridled sexuality. She owns her body and her soul completely. For many women, Lilith is an icon of freedom. Lilith is the first woman. She is the woman who refused to be dominated or defined by anyone or anything outside of her. So when your soul selects this card, Lilith asks, what would happen if you left everything behind? She wonders what prevents you from getting to experience all that you desire. Is it you? Is it the idea of someone you have to be? Is it society's definition of what it means to be a woman? Lilith asks a question that sometimes never fully reach the light of consciousness. Lilith is unclaimed. She is the ruler of her body and soul, and she reminds us that we are too. And not only that, we have a sacred obligation to be the body's fierce protector. If I were entirely equal to everyone else, to every man and every angel, what would I choose for my life? If I see myself as worthy as the first woman ever created by the divine, what more could I ask for? Am I living the life I desire? Am I fully fulfilled sexually in my current relationship? Are there aspects of my sexuality that haven't been able to face or voice? Lilith refused to settle. She answered all these questions within her and took action on the truth she uncovered. Lilith demanded that she meet with what she really desired, and she's here to demand that we all do the same. So our soul voice meditation, what does the life I truly desire look like? Just a little bit of food for thought for you, but with intention. This is something that you can say, I am the voice of my body and my soul. I choose the life I want and I desire. So fun fact.
That sounds
That
really
was
like powerful card.
very, very like dominating card, but like in a great aspect. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh shit.
Like
But
it's a good message of just like what would happen if you literally were just like, you know what?
like, why the fuck aren't I?
Nowhere.
Yeah, that seems like they both cards kind of felt really like resonating with what's going on in the world right now too, it felt like. So
Fair enough.
interesting. Bottle autonomy. Yeah. Oh, Harrison, Mr. Man.
Yeah, he's just like, I need to do this. I need to do other things.
So thanks for coming back to Basic Banter for Witches.
Yeah,
And a wizard.
It's a wizard.
It's a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harrison.
Harrison. Lovely.
Thank you for joining us. Chaotic week again. We love you guys, and we're so happy that we have another episode coming back. So a reminder again.
I know. Last episode. Yep.
And we have ideas looking into our next season. If you have a ghost story, if you have an urban legend, if there's anything that you want us to cover that you're like, you guys haven't really done much in this yet, just shoot us a message.
Like chances are we may not have thought of it. So yeah, send us a message. We'll dig in. We'll see what we can do.
But yes, we love you guys. Where can they find us?
On TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Basic Banter for Witches. Yep. Or you can email us basicbanterforwitches@gmail.com.
We did it.
Wonderful. Oh my God. One more for the season. Oh gosh. We'll see you guys next week. Oh my goodness gracious.
Okay. Well, we love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.